I am Dr. Vinita Bhadoria, Associate Professor of English, Government College, Behror. In the second video of Enterprise, the poem written by Nazim Ezekiel, I will explain you the poem. In the previous video, I gave a brief introduction of Nazim Ezekiel and about the poem. The theme of the poem revolves around the metaphorical journey to a pilgrimage started by some enthusiastic people. The enterprise, though started in high spirit, faced some setbacks in the middle. Finally, when they reached the destiny, they doubted the importance of that troublesome journey. They realized its futility and concluded that home is where we have to gather grace. Thus, the narrative poem Enterprise delivers a great message. The poem is didactic in nature. As I told you in the previous video, this poem was first appeared in 1959 in Unfinished Man. Now I start the explanation of the poem. It started as a pilgrimage, exalting minds and making all the burdens light. The second stage explored but did not test the call. The sun beat down to match our race. In these lines, the poet's emotions are spiritual and they start their journey with a good aim. At the very beginning of the poem, Enterprise, the poet confirms that the journey, the main theme of the poem, started as a pilgrimage, as a religious journey. Having said that, it had a noble aim and a lofty goal. All the members of the group were excited at the prospect of going out a pilgrimage. The thought of holy expedition elevated their minds and made all the burdens light. But the very nature of our minds, when people are enthusiastic, the burden seems to be lighter. That is why nothing could pose a challenge before them at that moment. The second stage explored but did not test the call. The sun beat down to match our age. So the poet has divided the journey into two stages. The second stage was somewhat different from the first one. In the first one, all are excited, all have good aim, good faith in each other. But since they faced the hostility of nature on the way, the sun, symbolic of the hostility of nature, was radiating is its scorching heat on them as if to match their spirit in intensity. Thus, the second age gave them some tough moments, but that was not enough to test their keenness. In short, though nature tried to present some obstacles, it hardly succeeded to unnerve them or pose a real threat. We stood it very well, I thought, observed and put down copious notes on things the pageants sold and bought, the way of sapiens and of goats, three cities where a sage had taught. In these lines, the poet thought that everything went well so far. Especially they could withstand the outrage of the sun. They also kept themselves busy observing and taking lengthy notes on various things the farmers were selling and buying, and on the ways of snakes and goats. Serpents are snakes. They even observed the three cities where they saw a hermit teach his lessons. In this stanza of the poem Enterprise, the poet has satirically described what they were doing during their journey. He actually indicates to how people get distracted from the main goal. They were wasting their time and energy taking notes on the humdrum aspects of life and on curiosities which were certainly not their aim. Moreover, their concern was with rather unimportant things. They observed and took note on the cities without concerning themselves with what the sage had taught or what his message was. But when the differences arose on how to cross a desert patch, we lost a friend whose stylish prose was quite the best of all our wedge. A shadow falls on us and grows. Now, the human behavior, difference of opinion in this stanza. There came a stage now when differences arose in their opinions. Some members didn't agree with the others on crossing a patch of desert on the way. As a result, the best prose writer and intellectual person among them parted from the group. So, we see that a holy journey for a noble cause no longer holds its integrity. People are becoming egoistic and concentrating on trivial matters. Their main concern now is the way, not the ultimate aim. They forget about the aim. Even the seemingly intellectual did not bother to reconcile the differences and hold the members together. Ironically, we can say he sought the easier way to part from the group, just as a shadow falls on us and grows. Means, after one friend left the group, a shadow of friction and conflict befalls the enterprise and continues to grow. They now lacked the zeal with which they started the journey. Another phase was reached when we were twice attacked and lost our way. Now the next phase started. Next phase of the journey has started, and next phase of the journey, some local or external forces attacked them on the way. As a result, they lost their way. So it seems that in the quest to save themselves, they didn't even bother that they were losing the way. These lines are also symbolic. As we human beings often face the opposition of fellow men on our way of life, sometimes we lose our way by the hostility or misguidance of others. Moreover, when we find ourselves in trouble, we forget the larger perspective and run away to save our narrow interests. A section claimed its liberty to leave the group. Now, few people wants to part, so now they get the chance to part away. We can say a section of the group wanted to free themselves and create a new group. Possibly they were unhappy with the leadership, so the disagreement continues. I tried to pray. Our leader said he smelled the sea. In this situation, the poet had nothing to do, but he can only pray to God. He prayed that God might solve some issues. The group leader was helpless and tried to assure others by saying that they were near the sea and so the destination was at hand. We noticed nothing as we went. A straggling crowd of little hope. But according to poet, it was a false hope from the leader's side. What leader hoped is a failure, big failure. As they progressed, they could see nothing. They now looked like a group of aimless and hopeless wanderers. They lose their holy goal. Ignoring what the thunder meant, deprived of common needs like soap, some were broken, some merely went. They were too tired to understand what thunder meant. They were in such dire condition that they were deprived of common needs like soap. Ignoring the thunder may also mean that they ignored what their inner self suggested. They don't want to listen their heart, they are using their minds now. They didn't have any idea of what was happening around. Seemingly, they were exhausted, tired, and lost their faith by now. The entire enterprise was reduced to a motiveless ritualistic exercise. They were physically drained too. Some members were not able to walk anymore, and the others just bent down with pain. When finally we reached the place, we hardly knew why we are there. Everyone forget the goal. Nobody remembers the goal. Why they start journey, why they are in this group, all have forget everything. After facing a lot of difficulties, when they reached the destination, they wondered why they had been there. They did not find the journey meaningful at all. There's no meaning they found. The trip had darkened every face. Our deeds were neither great nor rare. Home is where we have to gather grace. The hardships of the journey had darkened everyone's face. Everyone is too tired, but they felt that it was not worth the effort. What the effort they have taken is not worth it. After reaching there, they found out that there was nothing extraordinary. Moreover, many other groups had reached there earlier, so it was not a rare achievement either. That is why the narrator concluded that they should have stayed at home and tried to gather love and respect of others. Doing good to the mankind makes more sense, and it's a better way than going to a pilgrimage to gather God's grace. In other words, we can say that we can get God's grace by loving and respecting each other. The poet has been successful in conveying his message through the narrative poem, but as already told, that there's a great deal of investigation on what this poem may indicate and gather grace may mean, and that is the beauty of the poem Enterprise. Both the journey and the concluding lines of the poem Enterprise are highly metaphorical and draws a lot of critical evaluation. Critics are divided in their opinion on what the poem Enterprise may hint in, but most of them agree that this poem is an allegory for the journey of life. There are many critics who feel that this poem is a search for the meaning of life's journey. Our life also begins with high expectations, but we often deviate from the aim or face tough challenges in the middle and finally reach the last stage without much achievement. Opinion of another critic associates the frustration at the end of the journey to a modern man's inability to know clearly about his aim and destination. Modern man is totally confused, according to this critic. This frustration could well be the poet's own, and through the metaphor of a pilgrimage, he could be writing about his own psyche. So, this is the explanation of the poem and the views of 2 3 critics about this poem. This is all in this video. Thank you very much.